Hey, welcome to Classic Performance. An absolutely beautiful day out here today. We had a little bit of winter weather the last couple of weeks, which slowed us down just a little bit, but we're out today and we're going to be taking the FJ55 out for a drive. We're going to drive it on the highway, some back roads, and even put it into low range and show you what it does and its four-wheel drive capabilities. So come along, let's get in the FJ and take a ride. Alright, so here we are, getting my seat squared away. This vehicle starts and runs immediately, cold or hot, and it is cold, so we'll pull the choke. It's got a manual choke, and one of the great things about driving classic cars is everything is analog, everything's manual, and this one including the choke. Starts right up. A little bit cold. We'll just kind of take it easy here, just starting out. And this does have a 4-speed transmission. If you saw our earlier video, and I'll put a link in the bottom for you, we did a complete walk around of this car and showed you everything about it and some of the history of the FJ40 and FJ55 production numbers and that sort of thing. But this does have a 4-speed transmission. Originally they came with a 3-speed. So it's first, second, third, fourth, and then over and back towards you is reverse, and this is your transfer case selector here. So got her in reverse. Let's hit the road. Take my brake off. There we go. And this is a low geared vehicle. And in reverse, it's not very fast. Synchronized transmission, so I can put it right in first. And even if I let the clutch out, I can put it immediately in reverse. It has a synchronizer in reverse, so super easy to shift. It shifts just like you'd expect from a 70s Japanese vehicle. We've got our heater, make sure that's off. We got sun out today, even though it's in the upper 50s. It's still pretty warm in here because this has a lot of greenhouse and a lot of windows. And I'll take my foot off the accelerator right here. All you gotta do is let the clutch out, and this vehicle rolling. Has a lot of torque from the 6-cylinder motor. Is about 15 miles an hour. Second is about 25. 30 miles an hour, 34 miles an hour in fourth, and third, and then we shift to fourth. Stretch it out to 45 miles an hour in third gear, and now we're in fourth. That's 50, and it's got good brakes. I'm gonna take a left right up here. We almost got up to 55. Downshifting's easy with the synchronized transmission. Just put it in third. A little bit on the brake. No power steering on this car, so the steering, there's a little bit of effort to it, but once you're rolling, it's perfectly fine. Third gear. This vehicle, either in 75 or with this one in 76, is when they came out with the power assisted front disc brakes. They were drums up until then. And we're on kind of a bumpy country road here, and this vehicle is incredibly happy at 45 miles an hour. And it'll run 55, 60, and you can travel in this car at that speed. And just to kind of show you the torque that this vehicle has, we'll slow down to about 14 miles an hour, still in fourth gear. And you just ease on the accelerator. We're already at 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So a lot of engine torque, which is what you want in an off-road vehicle. You don't want horsepower. This is not a drag racer or a high RPM motor. It's a torquey 6-cylinder engine. It's like I think it was the 258 6-cylinder Jeep CJs. They were really preferred over the 304 V8s simply for the torque in off-road situations. So what I'm going to do is head off in this field right here, and we'll go into the four-wheel drive section of this and kind of show you how the transfer case works and that sort of thing. So we'll come through here and see if we can get some light on the some light on the shifter so you can see it, and then we'll go into four-wheel drive. All right, so we got a little light on there, and get this out of the way here. And as you can see, we are in too high right here. It says too high, and then you've got down here is 4 high, and then I come across right over here, and that is neutral in the middle, and I'm all the way over, so that's 4 low. And when you're in low range in this vehicle, it just barely creeps along. So I'll put it in first gear, let the clutch out, and so you can hear the RPMs going. It's a little bouncy, but I might be going 10 miles an hour. So it just, the low range, and we'll put it in reverse down here, and backing up. So this is your stump pulling gear. And of course this has front locking hubs, so you have to get out and lock the hubs in order to activate or engage each front wheel. What we'll do is we'll throw this all the way into a turn like that. We just let the clutch out, and you can almost get out of this car. Chase it around the lawn. So that's a little detail of kind of how the four-wheel drive and the low range works in the transfer case. And as you can see, it really does have a low range and a very low first gear and reverse. So that's great if you need some real pulling power, or you just want to be slow and deliberate going over obstacles and not have to worry about bogging down the motor. You know, this car doesn't have a lot of sound deadening insulation, so I don't know how the audio is going to come out here, but you know, it's got a radio, but you really don't need it. It's just got a nice mechanical sound to it, a good road sound. And utilitarian, or one of the first SUV sport utility or SAV sport activity vehicle that you could take the family out on, put all your stuff in the back. It kind of competed with the international travel a little bit. Maybe the Jeep, the Wagoneer, if you remember the Wagoneer with the wood siding and all that. It was another four-door utilitarian wagon. So the Wagoneer was a competitor of the FJ55, though the Wagoneer outsold the FJ by an enormous amount. Signal on. Everything works on this car. The ham gauge, the fuel gauge, the oil gauge, the temp gauge. You can probably hear the turn signal there. Get a little wave from a Jeep guy there. How about that? I don't have my ducks up front here. I guess we need to get some ducks, or maybe, probably not actually. Gotta do is let off the clutch. Don't even have to touch the gas. It's rolling. Truck probably has a pretty large flywheel. You know the size of the flywheel or the clutch or the weight of the flywheel? Leave it in the comments, because a large flywheel on a manual transmission and a mass to it is important, because when you let the clutch out, that stored energy in the flywheel is kind of what gets you going. Automatic transmissions have a small flex plate because they don't need the inertia that you do with a manual transmission to get started. So we're cruising along at 45 miles an hour, and it does extremely well. I'm going to go ahead and push it up a little bit, and this is kind of a bumpy road, but there's 55, and we're just about at 60 here, and it cruises right along at 60 miles an hour, no problem whatsoever. And this is not the best road to be going 60 miles an hour on, though. But it absolutely loves going down the road at 50. You know, the ride on this vehicle, even though this is kind of a bumpy road, it's the same underpinnings and suspension as you'd have on the FJ40, which is kind of the Jeep equivalent, but with the longer wheelbase, changes the whole dynamics of how the vehicle rides compared to the FJ40. So the FJ55 really does have better road manners on the paved surface streets. Now, as far as off-roading goes, same off-roading capabilities with the four-wheel drive, the transfer case, the high and the low range, and everything else. But you probably have a better turning radius and more flexibility in tight spots with the FJ40. So that's going to about do it for our tour of the FJ55 and the driving video. I hope you enjoyed it. It absolutely is a great vehicle. If you're in the market for an older off-road capable vehicle, you'd certainly want to look at the FJ55. They've been kind of forgotten about. The popularity is coming back up of these. The FJ40, like I said, the Jeep variant of this vehicle has always been very popular. So thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. Hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you'll be notified when we do more content like this. So take care and have yourself a great day.